Ladies and gentlemen, the opposition side has clearly a few flaws in its core mechanism, and I'll be explaining why. First of all, they are referring to an alternative, which is rehabilitation, when we know that rehabilitation not only costs more money, you have to put more capital into rehabilitation facilities when you can put it into jail for people that did more wrongdoings. And by giving rehabilitation as an alternative and as a solution for corruption, it does not deter people from trying to corrupt again, and they will only wait until the next chance and the right time to do it again. So when opposition said that rehabilitation is the way to go, it is not. And definitely, if we impoverize, if we make the corrupted people who do corruption, if you were to punish them correctly, it will definitely be to take all their possessions. And opposition had said that with no basic resources, it will lead to petty crime. Yeah, of course. That is why we are going to make them go into poverty again, because by letting them into poverty again, we'll let them have the harsh reality of what it's like to not have any possessions that is owned by the country. The possessions that they owned should not be owned by the country, by the money of the people. And so by opposition's solution, which is to rehab, you're leaving power and wealth to people. And when you're leaving power and wealth to people, it will not scare them away from doing corruption again. And they said, yeah, family, yes, of course, family should not be involved when the corruption is done by a single person. But however, money that is used is just people who use the corruption money is just as wrong as the people doing the corruption. Corruption is something that people do to gain the money, and various reasons for doing so. And in opposition, when they're trying to explain it with their mechanism, they did not say that innocent family will be fine, because the family members who use this corruption money is also just as guilty as the ones that is providing the corruption money, because they have agreed to use the corruption money for their own greater good. So corruption is definitely bad. So giving simple rehabilitation will not going to work. You're going to have to put way more capital into rehabilitation facilities than you have to do with jail. When jail is just a simple, you will spend less capital in jail, and if you were to put more capital into jail, you'll reserve more spots for the future criminals, and it'll set a very good example for people who think corruption is a very viable way to live. So people who do corruptions, if we were to impoverish them, they will differ from corrupting again. Why? Because we're setting an example by giving them example of how their life will be once they are found out. However, on the opposition side, if you're going to give rehab, you're not going to help anything. People who see corruption, let's say you're going to televise this findings, because both of us don't know how to locate corruptors in both worlds. So let's say in my world, we found a corrupt someone that did corruption, a very big one, and we're going to make him go into poverty. So what you're going to do, what's going to happen is that it's going to send a message to all the corruptors in our area, our country, that this is what is going to happen if you were to be found out of corruption. This will be what will happen to you. But in opposition's world, where you found out someone that did corruption, all they're going to see is someone that's going to a facility and trying to not corrupt again, people who see that will not differ. This is not the person. They're not as simple as looking at a person going to rehab and they will think, oh, I should stop corrupting the company. On the other hand, in our world, where we will improvise corruptors, is going to set a very good example for all the future corruptors that is going to exist. We're going to put a very strict rule here because corruption is a bad crime. It's stealing from the people, and as according as the criminal justice system wants it, what you did is what you're going to get. So if you're going to talk about people stealing from the people, someone stealing from the people, you're going to have to make them pay everything that they stole. And that is by making them poverty and taking all their possessions. And by doing so, you're going to have more capital to provide. You're going to have more money and more opportunities to develop facilities that is much more needed for the people that is doing an honest life, that is doing a normal life, rather than using all that money to make them go rehab so that they can, oh, corruption is bad, I will not do it again. No, let's be harsh to the corruptors. And that's it. That's for my speech. Thank you.